What's up everyone, welcome to Trash Panda Garage. This video is supposed to be about our spring break trip down to Anza Borrego Desert in Southern California, except life happened along the way. Grady woke up at about 1:30 in the morning on our first overnight stop in the most physical pain I've ever seen him in. Neither one of us got any more sleep that day. We spent basically an entire extra day in Fresno, California trying to get into an urgent care appointment and get a prescription filled for an ear infection. Spotty cell reception and overnight lows of 40 did not seem like the best place for Grady, who had just started antibiotics and was seriously sleep deprived, so I changed course and we headed for the much warmer weather over at South Carlsbad Beach State Park. I gotta say that South Carlsbad was a little more like glamping with its on-site convenience store and walk-up bar and restaurant, but there was a Rite Aid less than a mile away. It was warm, and the views here are pretty hard to beat. After catching up on some sleep and about 36 hours into his course of antibiotics, Grady was definitely starting to feel a little more normal. The next afternoon, we wandered down to the town of Carlsbad and popped into Pizza Port Brewing. Grady got to play what is hands down the greatest pinball game of all time, Medieval Madness. Feel free to debate me in the comments below, but you're going to be hard-pressed to change my mind. From there, we slowly meandered up PCH up into Dana Point and stayed the night at Doheny Beach State Park, which is also pretty awesome. During this entire trip, we'd been packing around a box of Radflo rear reservoir shocks for the Colorado that we had purchased and received about a week before we left. I was unable to install these initially because of a small issue with how the reservoirs were mounted, so I reached out to the guys at Radflo, mentioned I was going to be in SoCal the following week already. They asked me if I could swing by the shop so they could do some work on the shocks, move the reservoirs, and recharge the shocks for me, so I scheduled an appointment for the day after we checked into Doheny. Radflo shop is located in Fountain Valley, just south of Anaheim, so it was a pretty short drive from Dana Point the following morning. The crew at Radflo had me out the door in about 45 minutes, and I was on my way to Anaheim, where Grady and I spent a day at Disneyland before making the final trek back home to Oregon. Just as Grady and I got to hang out and watch the sunset that first night in South Carlsbad Beach State Park, you could also say that the sun is sort of setting on this version of the Colorado build-out. This was really the last big road trip for the Colorado before it undergoes some significant changes. That would include some suspension upgrades, hence the stop at Radflo, as well as some comfort modifications and some improvements to its off-road capability. Even though this beach run from Carlsbad to Dana Point was kind of a plan B after Anza Borrego fell through, I will say we had a ton of fun, and I'm already sort of plotting our next California beach run, which is going to include Pismo Beach. And before we sign off on this one, I want to give a quick shout out to the staff at AFC Urgent Care in Fresno. They were super awesome to deal with, especially on a weekend. As always, thanks for tuning in to Trash Panda Garage, and until the next time, get out there, build something.